They're back. And by they, I mean the great value version of girlfriends. How you doing? Greetings, royal family. Welcome back. Thanks for clicking on the video. So now we have entered season 3. Season 3 of Tyler Perry's Sistas. And I like to call them the great value version of girlfriends. You know, girlfriends, Joan and them. So last season, right, I totally fell off with the last couple of episodes. I got tired, okay? I actually didn't even really watch all of the final episodes. I think I only missed the last 2 episodes, right? I didn't watch it in its entirety of season 2. I said, listen, F this. I'm tired. I can't deal, okay? But we're back, and I'm going to try to stay committed. I think that there are only 9 episodes this season, but you know how Tyler Perry do. He like to jump out and give you some surprise episodes. So last season, the season finale for season 2 ended with Jasmine, okay? Wife client, Gary's wife. She pulled out a gun and she popped Gary. So Gary and Andy were at Andy's place or whatever. You know, she really considered getting back with him. She actually got back with him and she accepted his proposal for marriage. Jasmine busts up in Andy's apartment, okay? Slid smooth past the doorman, because I could have swore Andy had a doorman, right? Some sort of security. And Jasmine was up in the room waving the fofo, right? So the episode opens. We see Jasmine with a gun. Jasmine's got a gun, okay? She pops Gary. He drops by the bathroom. I'm screaming. Andy is screaming. Gary ain't screaming. We don't even know if Gary's dead or alive. Now, I want to know who Tyler Perry is giving that good loving to down at the BET for this show to actually have been renewed for a season 3. Now, shout out to the actors and actresses, okay? Because it's hard to find good work out here. But really, season 3, as usual, Andy is wrapped up in mess, right? And she's in the victim role. She's like, oh my God, Jasmine, we gotta call 911. Jasmine said, man, I don't give a damn about Gary, and I don't give a damn about you either, okay? So Andy, she's screaming, staring down the barrel of Jasmine's blicky, right? Gary is on the ground, probably not dead, knowing Tyler Perry. I don't hear him moaning or anything like that. You know, she popped him, and he dropped, and that was it. Jasmine was doing way too much talking for me in this scene, okay? Talking about, you know, she bought Gary the drawers that he had on. First of all, Miss Jasmine, how the hell you get in Andy's apartment? I still want to know that. What that white doorman that liked Andy and know that she's a hussy, how he let Jasmine up? He probably was off. So much for her security. Jasmine is pouring out her heart to Andy. Andy is screaming for her life and begging, you know, yeah, we got to get Gary some help. Then Andy leaps up in her lingerie, okay, because her and Gary was getting ready to go to bed, if you know what I mean. She hops out the bed in her lingerie and wrestles the gun out of Jasmine's hand. It was at this moment, y'all, at this moment, that I realized that I've been wasting DVR space for 3 seasons of this show. At this moment. Yo, Andy is willing to put her life on the line for Gary, honey. She said, I'm going to stick beside him. Now, here's what I don't know. Is Gary and wife client, remember I started calling her that from season 1? Wife client, a.k.a. Jasmine, is their divorce final? Because didn't he present Andy with divorce papers after he choked her out and he came back? It was like, I'm sorry, baby. I don't want to leave you. He gave her that ring. She put the ring on, and the ring miraculously stayed stuck on her finger when it swells up. Some BS mess. But is their divorce final? Who cares, right? So Andy, she ends up smacking Jasmine with a book, I think it was. And then she checks on Gary. He's unresponsive. Then 12 knocks on the door. Okay, that's the popo. Andy, she puts on her little silk robe. She's still in her lingerie. At this point, Jasmine is knocked out on the bed or whatever. I think she hit her with a book, right? Anyway, who cares? So she opens the door, Andy that is, and, you know, they have guns drawn, officers. Oh, we got calls from your neighbors. What's going on in here? So Andy, she starts yelling and screaming Gary's name. You know, she's like, oh, she's trying to tell the officers what happened, and they just seem very slow, put it that way, right? They're just the bad acting and the slow response, typical Tyler Perry-ish. Typical Tyler. Season 3 now. I throw in the gauntlet. I'm just going to accept it for what it is as long as I choose to review this show. I know some of you don't watch it. Shout out to all of you who prefer to hear my review. I really appreciate the engagement. I really do. Anyway, we move on to Simple Sabrina. Nothing has changed. Not even not much. Nothing has changed at all as far as her character is concerned, right? She still got her employee Jacoby, aka Bank Boy. You know, I like giving these characters these funny names, right? So she feels awkward because Calvin showed up at her door unannounced, right? And when she opened the door, she thought it was Danny, I think it was. She saw Jacoby Calvin saw that Sabrina had company, and it was Jacoby, Bank Boy, her subordinate, right? At work, her employee at work. And he ain't had no clothes on. He was in the fridge, getting something to eat. And Calvin, was so upset and walked up. I don't like Calvin at all. Never liked him from season 1, episode 1. Can't stand him. Anyway, so Bank Boy was naked in Sabrina's kitchen. And Calvin, he walks off. Sabrina, she starts getting all nervous. Oh, my God, you got to leave. You have to leave. She's still simple. Girl, please. Calvin would have walked. First of all, you show up unannounced. Okay, a huge no-no. Then you walk off and get mad. You just cussed Sabrina out not too long ago. Girl, I can't. Then we go on to see Rodeo and Danny. I got nothing to say. Moving along. Back to Andy. So she can't go in her bedroom, right? Because it's now turned into a crime scene, right? So the medics are allegedly working on Gary, and Officer Lightskin is asking Andy a whole bunch of questions in a calm and suspicious tone, right? And it makes me wonder if these cops are working with Jasmine. Now, that would have been an interesting plot twist. None of the plot twists that I recommended or suggested in season 2 or 1 Tyler followed through with. And you see, this is exactly why the show's falling flat. But it is entertaining to review. Anywho, Andy, she's getting aggressive with the cop, and she doesn't want to answer any more questions. And I understand. He was like, ma'am, we don't worry about Gary. Medics are working on him. I didn't see any medics though in the episode. Maybe I turned away for a second, but we don't hear nothing. We don't hear Gary screaming, nothing. No resuscitation attempts. We don't see anything. Maybe in episode 2, we'll get, more insight on that. It's only episode 1 of the new season. Anywho, so again, Andy, she's getting aggressive. She's screaming at the officer. I don't want to answer any more questions. He's asking her if Jasmine and Gary were still married. That's what made my antennas go up. I was like, who is this cop? Who you working for? Probably working with Jasmine. And don't forget, that lawyer is still on the loose. The one that Andy went to law school with that was kind of in cahoots with Jasmine. What's his name? Marcus? Or Chocolate Lawyer? Chocolate thing. That's what I think I called him. Anywho, so we go back to Karen. Oh, my gosh. Let me tell you something. These ladies give me an absolute headache. Absolutely. Okay. So we shift gears to see Karen. She gets a knock on the door, and it's Zach. He drops by her place. He hands Karen $5,000 in cash. Karen tells Zach, look, she has proof that he wasn't the one that used her credit card, right? We still don't know who the hell it is. But apparently, does Karen know? I want to know. She blames Zach real hard and press charges on him. Got him arrested. Anyway, so he's over it. He doesn't care. And he gave her that money basically so that she wouldn't hold anything over his head. I think he said he owes her $7,000 in total, for rent that he never paid, and for food that she bought him, when she was helping him out when he was in a rough patch when they were together. So he says, I'm putting $5,000 on it. Now, Zach got this money from this program that he was in. So Zach is out here making it rain on everybody. And I don't blame him. Like I said, he did that so that Karen wouldn't hold that over his head anymore, because she likes to throw in his face the fact that he couldn't take care of himself. He never had no money, yada, yada, yada. Karen wants to know how long Zach has been seeing Fatima. Okay. And he didn't answer her. And I am glad that he did not answer her. Zach ended up leaving. Now we shift gears to see Zach. He enters Fatima's house. Okay, he had a key. Fatima actually gave him a key. So he enters Fatima's house, and Fatima is over him at this point. Because remember, if you guys don't remember, in season 2, he hooked up with Karen. Okay, Aaron caught Zach and Karen getting it on, doing the humpty hump in the back room at Karen's salon. And of course, Fatima found out about it. She knows the beans have been spilled. So she is over Zach right now. She tells him to pack yo ish, and get out. She tells him, leave her key on the table, pack his stuff, and bounce. So Fatima, she had a new ninja at the door as she was advising Zach to exit. And I said, I know that's right. But she was putting on the front. But that's still, you know, she had to let Zach know, look, you are replaceable, sir. I can replace you at a moment's notice, right? So this new guy, though, I don't know where she found him from. He ended up being a cornball. You know, after she went to dinner with him, they went back to her place, and he tried to, you know, get comfortable. But Fatima basically showed him the exit. Fatima likes Zach, but I think she has a hard time letting her guard down. And what Zach did, obviously, she has good reason to not want to let her guard down. Zach is doing a little bit too much. He got a little bit of money now, you know what I'm saying? So he's feeling himself. Pipe down there, Zach. Pipe down. Let me see. Who else? Oh, what's the next scene? Oh, Calvin and Maurice. Look, as far as Calvin and Maurice is concerned, yeah, whatever. I don't even care. Calvin is still annoying and entitled. I do not like his character whatsoever. And Maurice is still hypersexual. That's it. That's all. Moving along. Back to Karen. Aaron shows up, right, drunk, telling Karen that he wants her. Now, you know, he done fell off the wagon a few times, right? He was an alcoholic, so he's trying to stay sober, but he fell off the wagon, right? He broke up with Karen, if you guys recall, in season 2, after he caught Karen and Zach, you know, bumping and grinding in her salon, okay? Karen, she stops Aaron after he done got naked and pushed up on her, drunk as a skunk. He tells her that he's in love with her and he wants her for himself, and now he's embarrassed. And he starts crying in Karen's arms. Girl, I'm so glad that Karen didn't give in and give him any sympathy. Cootie cat, if you know what I'm saying. Aaron, you need to get us. What is something? Can we progress Aaron along? We don't know nothing about Aaron. And we are in season 3. Season 3, for Pete's sake. Can we move this along? Moving along, back to Fatima. She misses Zach, right? But she has a hard time letting her guard down, like I said. That's what it seems like to me. You know, she calls him and tells him, hey, look, you left your money here. Your money's going to be taped to the outside of the door. Zach is like, are you crazy? Somebody could take that money. She said, well, you better come get it then, right? But he left the money for her as a token of his appreciation for all that she's done for him. And she let him know, look, I didn't do that to get anything back. I did that because I wanted to help you. You know, I did that because I believed in you. So Fatima, she's pissed, you know, of course, because Zach slept with Karen. Zach says that he was confused. He asked her, have you ever been confused? And look, she hesitated for a moment, didn't answer the question. So you can see that there's some feelings that she has for him. Obviously, she done told Andy about this great guy that she met. But at the time, Andy didn't know that it was Zach, right? Apparently, Fatima, you know, is confused, but she doesn't want to admit it, right? She doesn't want to let her guard down. Now, I want to know, will Fatima and Zach kiss and make up? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. All right, on to Simple Sabrina, right? Oh, God, she just makes my skin itch. So she told Jacoby to leave, and she went in her room. She's talking to Maurice. Maurice is trying to tell her that, you know, Calvin is on his way back over to your house, so you might want to tell Jacoby to leave. She's like, oh, I'm so confused. I don't know what to do. Oh, my God. And she said, Jacoby left. He don't have to worry about that. Man, Jacoby wouldn't have been going nowhere. Even if me and Jacoby sat and played Uno, okay? Jacoby wouldn't be going nowhere. Who the hell does Calvin think he is, showing up unannounced, making demands? I can't stand his character, and I don't like the way that his character is written whenever he communicates with Sabrina. He always is talking down to her, talking at her. I don't like that. And the optics don't look good, Tyler, so you might want to clean that up. It's season 3. I've had enough. Okay. So anyway, Jacob is still in the living room. Sabrina thought he was gone. So he's like, I don't want to go. I like you. I really, really like you. We don't know if he's telling the truth, child. He's probably just trying to get some, She's like, oh my God, you gotta go. Please, I thought you were gone. You gotta go. So Calvin returns to Sabrina's house. Sabrina opens the door. Calvin walks in and tells Jacoby to get out. I can't stand Calvin. And Sabrina just standing there letting Calvin talk to her guests like that in her house. Sabrina, you really are simple. And yes, Sabrina does let people push her over, Calvin included. He is disrespectful. He's confused behind. Anyway, so he demands Sabrina tell him what's the issue, cussing and carrying on in her living room where she pay rent. Sabrina tells him, it's me. Calvin's like, don't you dare cop out with that sorry excuse. I just didn't like the aggression in his tone. Oh, now you want to be aggressive, sir? Anywho. So she lets him know about, the rumors that she heard about him supposedly being on meth, supposedly sleeping with this guy, this stupid plot line with Maurice thinking that Calvin had a man in his bedroom when it was really Maurice's friend took the key and went into Calvin's bedroom and had company. Calvin was out of town. Just this stupid merry-go-round of a plot, that Tyler keeps on, showing us or whatever in this series. So Calvin then tells Sabrina that she lets people sway her when she should just go with her heart. He walks out and of course she's begging him not to leave. How many seasons, Sabrina, are we going to see you beg Calvin not to leave? Man, F Calvin. F him. Okay? Bleep Calvin. I do not like the way that he's so confused and he wants Sabrina to take time with him and understand all his ish, and he can't be patient with her or respectful. Sabrina, girl, if you don't move, girl, me and Jacoby would have been playing Uno and then Jenga, and I would have stood right at the door. How you doing, Calvin? Can I help you? This is the second time that he showed up to her house unannounced and think that he has the right to come up in her house and make demands. You need to speak up for yourself, Sabrina. And the first person that you need to check is yourself. And the second person you need to check is Mr. Calvin. Anyway, moving along. Because Zach has nowhere to go, he lands back at Fatima's doorstep. He tells Fatima that he likes her. And he loves Karen. They're on the phone at this point, but he ends up coming back to the house. Listen, Fatima called that man because she missed him. Okay, she likes him, and I think she is afraid to admit that she likes him. But she feels like she has to be strong. She feels like she has to put up a front. So Fatima tells him that she wants him to leave, right? So Zach is just like, "Are you sure you want me to leave?" And she said, "Listen to me clearly. I want you to leave." So basically, Zach wants to do a whole sister girlfriends thing, right? He loves Karen, understandably so, right? Because they've been together for so long and she's done so much for him. But Fatima's his new thing. You know what I'm saying? It's something new, Well, who doesn't like the drive of a new car and the smell? You know what I'm trying to say? Listen, I'm trying to make this show a hell of a lot more interesting than it's not, okay? in real life, okay? Anyway, so like I said, I think Zach got a little bit of money. He got a little pep in his step, so he feel like, you know what I'm saying? I like both of y'all. I love her, and I like you. Girl, Zach, pipe down, okay? You ain't had a little bit of money but for a good 10 minutes, and now you think you know what I'm saying, you feel good about yourself. But at least he's being honest. I can say that he is being honest. So now I guess the whole plot line is going to be him choosing between Karen and Fatima. And Aaron, he's a mess. He done fell off the wagon. So now Karen is probably going to feel pressured choosing between Aaron and Zach. Just like season 1. It's like season 1. All right. Was Aaron in season 1? I think he was, right? I don't know. It's just a recycling of plot lines. But I have to tell you, Fatima, I think she's a great addition to the show. Her acting is not terrible at all. I like the way that her character is kind of standing up for herself. But the minute, I'm telling you, I'm saying this out of my mouth, I like Fatima. Watch. Fatima gonna get a case of the dumb. Watch. Just watch. Before this season is over, Fatima's gonna get on my damn nerves. I can already predict it. So anyway, let's shift back gears to First 48, starring Andy and her annoying behind. Jasmine is now being escorted out in handcuffs, right? And we don't know if Gary is dead or alive, right? The officer says that, you know, he's not bloody, and Andy just wants to know how Gary is doing. I want to know how he's doing. Is it bloody in there? Now, remember, the officer said the medics are working on him. I ain't seen no medics. Like I said, I watch this show sometimes. I listen. I'll be doing other things. I'll be taking my notes. I'll be doing like 3 or 4 different things at once. And sometimes this show really gets on my nerves to the point where I have to pause it and flip to watch something else because it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't, right? So did y'all see any medics working on Gary? I ain't seen none. Maybe I saw one. I don't know. I saw somebody standing by the door. Anywho. So the episode ends, of course, with a cliffhanger. Tyler Perry is good for a cliffhanger. And the episode ended with Andy walking into her room where Gary was. And she's looking. So we didn't see Andy scream. Like I said, we don't know if Gary is dead or alive. I think Gary is perfectly fine, in my opinion. Because if he's deceased, that's it. What plot line, a storyline does Andy's character have? So watch, you're going to hear, oh, the bullet ricocheted off the wall and it's just a fragment that scraped my arm. Watch. And I was passed out. Watch. You heard it here first. I could be wrong, but we shall see. So that's where the episode ended. And as usual, I was just left laughing. I don't think we're going to get, this is exactly how I feel after watching an episode of this show. I don't think we're gonna get much this season. I listen, it's season 3, okay? It's I don't know how, but it's season 3 and we're here. I remember when I first started reviewing this show in season 1. Y'all remember? If you've been with me that long, drop down in the comments and show your love and support. And what I would like to do now, this review is getting long, is implement something real cute, right? So you guys know that I'm on Twitter, she_RoyalB on Twitter. And whenever some of these shows that come on that I watch, whenever they come on, there's usually a hashtag that follows, right? And if you go on Twitter, you'll see people using the hashtag and making funny comments in real time while the show is airing, right? So I pulled up a couple. This is a more interesting one. You could do like hashtag Sistas on BET. There's hashtag Sistas and there's hashtag Tyler Perry's Sistas. So someone wrote, Zach wants him sister wives. Okay. Calvin, she keeps visualizing them panties you wear. Talking about Sabrina being turned off by Calvin, I guess. LMAO, Jacoby is a nutcase. Yes, he is. Let me go get my good dress and put my hair on. Some of these tweets are funny. This first season long AF. So I guess this is somebody who is catching up on the first season of Sistas. Good luck, ma'am. Good luck. So this one says, not Aaron coming over to Karen's house crying and drunk, just sloppy. The whole scene, I was hoping that she wasn't going to give him any pity. Beep. Right. He is pathetic. Honey, when Aaron started crying, I was like, oh no, come on. Really? What else? She shot Gary. Ooh, catching up on one of my favorite shows. Your favorite show? Wow. Is your viewing to TV shows, scripted and reality TV limited? Favorite show? To each his own. To each his own. Zach can do no wrong in my eyes. LOL. I'm sorry. I bet y'all about to blame Zach for Aaron falling off the wagon. No, not quite. Fatima is me and I am Fatima. Baby, switch up on you real quick. Okay. Talk about it. Aaron must be homeless too. But I think I recall him tell Karen something about him sleeping in a hotel. Yeah, I think that, yeah, he was. I don't know if he was sleeping in a hotel, but remember he took Karen to that hotel and Zach busted up in there and caught them up in there. Sick of Andy and Gary's asses. Me too, sis. Me too. Ooh, child, the way Calvin spoke to Sabrina, I don't like that. Sir, calm down. Y'all should have warned me. Exactly. Andy marrying this man after he put her in a full Nelson, shaking my head. You know what? That's not funny, but that's funny. So that's it. I can't anymore. So the hashtag is Sistas on BET. Tyler Perry's Sistas are Sistas. So what I normally do is usually whenever the show is airing or whenever I'm watching it back, I just go on Twitter and look up the hashtag to see some of the funny thoughts. Some people, some of the viewers sharing funny thoughts. Sometimes I'll do it as well. I'll like participate. I do it with Shahs of Sunset, sometimes Growing Up Hip Hop, and sometimes Sistas. But I didn't get a chance to because I watched it after it was recorded and I was doing a whole bunch of multiple things. Anywho, Royal Family, this concludes this review for Tyler Perry's Sistas Season 3. Season 3. Don't ask me how. Season 3, Episode 1. Hopefully the reviews going forward will not be this long. They need to do what Tyler Perry did for Bruh and make these shows 30 minutes or 20 minutes. This show does not need to be an hour long. I think I've been saying that since season 1, right? So for those of you who are new, welcome. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary. If you want to be notified each and every time I upload videos like this, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. Select all. That way you won't miss out on any of my reviews, hot topics, entertainment news, and the like. All right, Royal Family, I'm signing off. Get down in the comments and share your thoughts. And as always, until next time, folks, peace.